Hey guys, it's Savan from the Mighty 60 on Instagram. Today we'll be doing a two-part build of our 12 volt system here. So I've been using this system for about 2 weeks now. We filmed the first part of this video about 2 weeks ago. So we'll be running you through exactly how we made this in the first part, and then the second part we'll be going through the whole wiring behind it and what we use to charge it and what batteries we're going to be running in the car as well. So we'll rewind back to 2 weeks ago where we started this build. And then I'll catch you back here for part 2. So basically I'll run you guys through what we'll be doing in the back of the 60 today. We've got all these goodies here, and then I've got this template which I've taken out of the car. Before that I had a couple of switches and some 12 volt cigarette lighters here. What we'll be doing is this top half is visible in the cab, so we'll be installing the inverter, a fuse box, and also the BCDC charger. And then the back there will house all the wiring and that kind of thing. So all you should see is a nice clean panel here, and we'll dive through and show you exactly what we'll be doing to achieve that. Alright, so to kick things off, we'll kind of go through why we went for this, and also why you'd want to put one in your car. So first of all, it is an in-vehicle battery charger by Redarc. This model here is a BCDC1250D. So what this one here does is it's basically in essence a charger that will give the most efficient charge to your battery, as well as prioritizing solar over the alternator and vice versa. So depending on whether you're driving or you're standing still, that kind of thing. So there's a couple of different modes in here, charging modes, which you might pick one over the other depending on your vehicle and what kind of setup you've got. These are generally, well, this particular charger generally prioritised for larger battery systems, so when you're running 200 amp hours plus. Initially we're going to start off with just a 100 amp hour battery in the rear. So in total we'll have 3 batteries, but this charger will just be charging the rear. So the front one is just piggybacking off the starter battery. Alright, so as well as the Redarc BCDC charger, we've also got a couple of other goodies here. So we'll be completely redoing the rear 12 volt system in the 60 series today, which basically means we'll be replacing a bunch of things and adding a couple of new stuff, not just installing the BCDC charger. So we've got a little fuse panel that will be visible. This will all sit on the outside of the board. You guys will see eventually what that'll look like. We've got a couple of Anderson plugs which we just picked up from our local BCF here in Perth. I've got the old cigarette lighter inputs that we made, and then also a switch panel with a USB and volt reader here. And then along with all that, we'll also be throwing in this sine wave inverter. It's a 350 watt inverter from Dometic. And other than that, it's pretty much all the wiring we'll need. Alright, so I've basically finished with the template of the plywood. Today we've just used 7mm thick plywood. It'll be suited on depending on what you guys will be doing. So obviously you guys will take your own aspects of this video. But today we'll just be using this Kwik grip, which is apparently one of the easiest ways of applying the marine carpet to that. I've basically traced out the area I wanted to glue on, and I'll show you exactly how we do it and whatnot. I'll fast forward all the boring bits, so hopefully we'll get into the 12 volt stuff. Alright, so that's pretty much the finished product with all the carpet installed. So just tucked around the edges. It's a bit messy on the rear, but no one can see it, so that's all good. Alright, so the whole carpeting side of things done. Now it's to try to plan out where you want things. For my setup, the switches and cigarette lighters will be at the front. The Redarc BCDC charger will be up the front as well, so we can see all the modes. Then we'll have the inverter further down, and hopefully, depending on how the wires look and what it actually looks like on the front face once we've hidden everything, we might put a solar input there just so you can plug an Anderson plug-in for an extra solar blanket. Further along we will have the fuse box as well, so that'll just be on the edge there where no one can really see anything, but it will still be there to access without removing the whole panel. Righty, so I've fast forwarded it a little bit. I've chucked a jumper on because it's a little bit cold outside, but we've done the whole panel here, so this is exactly how I wanted it to look. Changed a few things up here. As you can see, we've got the whole layout, so switches, charger, Anderson input or output depending on what we decide to do with that, inverter, and then just a fuse box there. So everything has basically just been drilled straight through there, so all the cables is all hidden behind there. So I'll flip over to the back of the board here. I've just taped it up for the moment, for the time being, but this is where everything will go down. Alright, now I apologise for the awkward angle, but we'll basically just test fit this one. Forgot this guy was under here. Should line up with that bolt. Oh, well, it all fits. That's good. So that's pretty much how it'll look. So that is the panel there. So it looks pretty good in my opinion. Everything fits pretty nicely. The battery will, hard with one hand, battery will pretty much sit right there, and then if I need to drill any holes or whatnot in the bottom of that panel, it should be fairly easy to do and nothing will be seen. And for now we will just wire it up with the two thick cables that we'll be using for the battery charger. We'll just wire the inverter and the panels up just so we can use it for now, and then once that third battery arrives, we'll pretty much slot it straight in, swap the power cables that we were using to power the inverter and switches temporarily. We'll swap that straight over to the BCDC, run some new wires to the battery, and that'll be that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed part 1 of that video. It was all about the actual 12 volt panel build. In part 2 we'll jump into the actual install of the battery in the rear here, and I'll show you how to wire everything up. But in the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe and keep an eye out for the next one.